Hello there. How are you? Alright. Oh, of course. You had called us. Well, welcome to our library. Have you been before? No, not a problem at all. So I believe the note was you were looking to get a library card so you could check out some of those books that you had called ahead on. Wonderful. Well, that should be very simple for us today. Have you had a library card with us before? Okay. Bring you up. Okay. So, just to get started, I do need to see a form of identification. Sure, take your time. Thank you. Alright, so did you want to use the name and details that are on your ID here? Okay. So I will be taking your first and last name here. Just gonna copy it from your ID. And is this a current address? Okay. What's that new address? Can you spell that straight for me? Good. And the zip code. Okay. Here's your ID back. Now, some of the optional information. Would you like to enter your email address or your phone number? These can be for book reminders if you need to return a book, or suggestions for future checkouts. Okay, and what's a good phone number for you? We rarely will call you. Most of the time it is an automated system for text messages. So did you want text messages, reminders about returning books? Okay. What about any specials that are occurring or events happening at the library? And what about an email address? Would you like that included? Again, you can have the option for reminders about your books that you have checked out. And we also can, once you've started checking out some books from us, we can kind of suggest some other books that we think you may be interested in based on your checkout history. Okay, so it's a good email. That's at .com. And are you okay with those notifications? Realistically, it might be like, for the suggested books, it's probably about one email a month, kind of taking in the monthly books that you have checked out from us and hopefully enjoyed. And we can kind of give you feedback on those and some other suggested books in those genres and themes. Okay. Now that we've signed you up with your email address and your phone number, you will also have the option to kind of make an account with our library. It's nothing crazy. It kind of gives you a cool option to keep track of the books that you've checked out, and if you finished reading them, if you enjoyed them, if you didn't. Some of that information that you would include on your account help us pick some future books for you if you like, all optional. But say you read a book and you didn't like it, we would potentially steer away from that author or similar book styles. But if you read a book and you noted that you really enjoyed it, we would focus more on that side. Yeah, pretty nifty. Okay. Alright, so here is your library card. There you are. You can also get the app if you'd want to have the digital card. Everything is all modern these days, but when it comes down to it, you can just use the card as well. Okay, perfect. So I know you had called ahead with those book suggestions that you wanted us to pull. I did have time to do that already, so you're in luck. You would just give me a moment. I have them in the back. Thank you. Was it the 5 books? Okay, I thought so. I'll just go one at a time and see if you are still interested in checking these ones out. Okay, perfect. So first we have Call Us What We Carry by Amanda Gorman, poetry book. Let's see here. This book is a message in a bottle. This book is a letter. This book does not let up. The Luminous Poetry Collection by #1 New York Times bestseller author and presidential inaugural poet Amanda Gorman captures a shipwreck moment in time and transfers into a lyric of hope and healing. In Call Us What We Carry, Gorman explores history, language, identity, erasure through an imaginative and intimate collage. Harnessing the collective grief of global pandemic, these poems shine a light on a moment of reckoning and reveal that Gorman has become our messenger from the past, our voice from the future. Okay. The poetry in the book is set up in different structures and manners. So obviously, as most poetry books are, it's not full pages. still quite entertaining. Yeah, I have read this one myself. This one, I believe, let me double check the length of the book for you. Around 228 pages. So it does vary in poem length and structure. Okay, good. Just hold this up. Good. You'll be checking out all of these books with your new library card. Good. Moving right along to some of your other selections. This book here, Yours Cruelly, Elvira, Memories of the Mistress of the Dark by Cassandra Peterson. The woman behind the icon known as the undisputed Queen of Halloween reveals her full story, filled with intimate bombshells told by the bombshell herself. Cassandra Peterson. Now, this memoir is full page, obviously. This one is going to be 284 pages, including acknowledgments and whatnot. It does also have some pictures and things of that, which is always nice when you do. People write stories about their lives and things of that nature. It's always nice to have a little bit of historic take on their life, especially from such an icon Elvira Cassandra Peterson. Okay. So here's, I know it matters to some, the size and length of font and pacing of the book. Okay. This one? Good. Good. Moving right along to Practical Magic by Alice Huffman. This is the 25th anniversary edition. This is the first book in a series about this family. Let's see. The Owen sisters confront the challenges of life and love in this bewitching novel from the New York Times bestselling author Alice Huffman. For more than 200 years, the Owens women have been blamed for everything that has gone wrong in their Massachusetts town. Jillian and Sally have endured that fate as well. As children, the sisters were forever outsiders, taunted, talked about, pointed at. The elderly aunts almost seemed to encourage the whispers of witchery with their musty house and exotic concoctions and their crowd of black cats. But all Jillian and Sally wanted was to escape. One will do so by marrying, the other by running away, but the bonds they share will bring them back, almost as if it's magic. So this is the first book, as I said, and then there is sequels and prequels that have to relate to the Owens family, if you happen to end up liking Practical Magic. Yes, it was made into a movie. So, this particular version of the book is around 286 pages. There is a sneak peek at the following book as well. And then for your reference, some of the pages for you. Good. Checked in on your card. Perfect. Then your two remaining books, if I've pulled them correctly, are both by the same author. Yes, they are nonfiction, however, so you could read them in any order, but I usually recommend you read them in publishing order, just because the author may have seen it fit that way to tell their story in such a manner. So, we have the first one here, The Rural Diaries, Love, Livestock, and Big Life Lessons Down on Mischief Farm by Hilary Burton Morgan. When you find a community that nurtures you and your family, it isn't enough to just live in it. You must also nurture and protect that place, and all the people who give you respite, solace, joy, and just enough hell to keep life interesting. So folks, this is a love letter to a town, to a farm, to a man. Hilary Burton Morgan is best known for her evolution from teenage MTV VJ to actress, typecast as a lippy broad in everything from One Tree Hill to White Collar, Grey's Anatomy, and Lethal Weapon, to her current role as producer for a slate of Lifetime holiday films where she indulges her much sweeter side. She is married to Jeffrey Dean Morgan of Walking Dead and Grey's Anatomy, and lives on a working farm in the Hudson Valley with him and their son Gus and daughter George, along with the abundance of quirky animals. So, again, story of some of her life from early to farm life. This one does include some photographs as well relating to Hilary Burton Morgan, her family, and such. Again, always nice to have when an author is writing about them. So, this book here has 259 pages. It's a very fascinating read. I personally read through it quite quickly. And then, of course, the pages. You'll find that she has quite humor in realistic experiences, but then on some of the pages, let me see if I can find some, there's brief pauses to her story where she shares certain recipes or other pieces of her farm life, if you will. There's some things about coffee and coffee love here. One of my personal favorites. Here we have zucchini fritter Benedict recipe, and there's some other concoctions in here. Okay. And of course, to continue with Hilary Burton Morgan, her newer creation, Grimoire Girl, Creating an Inheritance of Magic and Mischief The Rural Diaries, Hilary Burton Morgan. Since childhood, Hilary Burton Morgan has felt the call to record, keep, and catalog life in all its strange wonder. It was a whimsical habit with no clear goal, and then when she became a mother, the importance of all that collecting snapped into focus. With inheritance can give these children that is true and loving and lasting, what will stay with them long after I'm gone. In an effort to patchwork together an anthology of traditions, curiosities, and magical thinkings that she could pass down, Hilary realized she was crafting a grimoire. Perhaps the word brings to mind witches harboring secrets, and that's not far off. A grimoire was the tangible collection of lifetime of learning. A great risk, a woman recorded what she'd been taught as a child and added it over the years. In its purest form, a grimoire was a guide to keep you alive. Like the grimoires of old, full of life-saving wisdom, these pages record the people, places, ideas, and habits that have kept Hilary alive. Simple spells follow each chapter and are clear ways you can add mischief and magic into your daily life. Enchantment exists in all of us, so begin creating your own inheritance. Take a long look inward and decide what wisdom will be written on the pages of your grimoire. Here, sample of some of the regular pages, and then again there are some instances with some border. Some people like to know these type of details before they start a book. Add a little bit of whimsy to the grimoire. Perfect. Perfect. So, I believe that's everything. So, Grimoire Girl, the Rural Diaries, Practical Magic, Yours Truly, Elvira, and Call Us What We Carry are your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books that you have checked out with us today. Perfect. Details on the checkout process, as well as when they're due back, are all being sent to that email that you signed up with. Exactly. And now that you've officially checked out some books here at our library, we can email you some suggestions based on your preferences. was lovely to meet you. I do hope you enjoy your reading materials. Alright, you take care now.